Okay, so first things first, we're going to make our dough for the garlic knots. The dough is basically just a standard pizza dough, so you can use it for that if you like as well. You're going to start by combining some warm water, sugar, salt, and yeast. All ingredient amounts will be in the description down below. And then you're going to add some olive oil, mix it together. And if you want to learn how to knead with your hands, you could check out my video where I showed you how to make pretzels, where I showed a complete kneading process with your hands. But for today's purposes, I'm going to use a food processor. So, just like in my pretzel video, this dough does not have a specific amount of flour. You're just going to add enough flour to where when you press it, it should stick to your fingers. But when you remove your finger, there should be no dough remaining on your finger. So it should be sticky, but it shouldn't attach onto your finger. You're going to add your dough onto a floured work surface and just make it into a nice ball. We just want to make it a ball so that it rises nicely in the bowl. You could just throw it in there, but you know, if you want to make it more presentable, then you're going to make it into a ball like I'm doing here. Add it into a bowl with some olive oil, cover with foil or with plastic wrap, and leave it to rise for 2 hours. You're going to once again place your dough on a floured work surface and divide it into several pieces. Now, I don't measure the pieces when I'm making garlic knots, I just kind of go by sight. Mine are a bit big. If you want them to be really small, you would divide these logs that I'm making into 3 pieces. You're going to roll out each log and you're going to twist it into a knot shape. You're going to repeat that with all your logs, and you're going to put it into a parchment lined baking sheet so that it rises for a second time. The purpose of this is that if you throw it right away, you're not going to have a good time, they're not going to cook properly. I've done it before, it didn't turn out well. Let it rise for 45 minutes for a second time, and then you're going to put it into the oven at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. While the garlic nuts are baking, we're going to make our sauce, so we're going to coat our garlic nuts in. It's going to consist of parsley. Just chop it up real fine with your knife, add it to a bowl, then grate in some garlic. I always grate garlic, I never really slice it because it's less work, and I figure it's easier for you as well. Grate in some pecorino or parmesan cheese, and add enough olive oil to cover everything. Taste your sauce, and if it needs some salt, add it like mine did here, and it's complete. Throw your, I guess they're not garlic knots, just throw your knots then into your bowl with your sauce, mix everything together, and cover it for 5 minutes. We want the hot garlic knots to kind of absorb the sauce so that it becomes nice and soft. We don't want any really hard garlic knots. Finish it off with some grated pecorino or parmesan cheese, and your garlic knots are done. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.